Hello everybody, I'm Cousin and today the brand new video. Today is something very, very exciting indeed. We're talking about the Series 9 soundtrack, and it's coming out tomorrow on Friday the 27th of April. I'm very, very excited to see it physically and have it and own it and listen to it and stuff. But for those who weren't aware, the soundtrack did get a little bit leaked for like a short period of time, like 24 hours, 48 hours or something, on YouTube, and they were available to find. I, of course, out of mild curiosity, had to have a listen, and what I will say is, if you have heard these, out of pure respect and the fact that we want more soundtracks like this in the future, so the BBC know that we are interested, make sure you do go and pick up a copy as well, because then it adds to the BBC actually going, okay, they want a Series 10 one as well, we'll do that. Shows people's continuous interest even after 2 years. That is definitely important. Anyway, here we are with a soundtrack video. What we're talking about. So I've had the pleasure and absolute honour to listen to some of these tracks, and I'm going to read out and give a small snippet of each one. Not each one of the soundtrack, obviously that would take a long time, but in fact my top 5 sort of favourites, why I like them, and there's a little snippet here and there as well. I can't show too much because I of course want to keep a few things secret, which is unbelievably fair. I'm not going to be like some people on the internet, but yep, let's talk about that right now. So my first track that I want to talk about is on disc 1, from The Magician's Apprentice. It is Finding the Doctor, and the reason I like this is it's because, in my opinion, A Good Man, the Doctor's theme, is used a lot. Some would say too much. I think it is a little bit, a tad. Almost every track in this soundtrack that is like at the beginning has a little bit of 12's theme in there, which is a slight annoyance when everything's got its own kind of cool variety, and then occasionally dun dun dun. But this one's different. This is a full committed 12th Doctor theme with a cool electric bass in the background. It just sounds good. It's very hypey, it's very enjoyable, and there's nothing really wrong with it. I just really, really like it. Here's a little snippet. The next one is from disc 1 as well, from the episode Under the Lake, and it's called The Ghosts. Now this one is played for the first time, I think primarily when the Doctor and Clara meet the ghosts for the first time in that specific episode, and also just in general when the ghosts are being really cool. The music is very upbeat and hypey and very unique. It's one of those ones that's only ever used for one story that everyone kind of wishes is used again, but never is. This is one of those ones that I'm going to miss not seeing or hearing ever again, because it's actually a really cool... I kind of prefer this to Capaldi's theme. I think it's a little bit more of a running theme, a bit like Strange Creatures in a way, but a lot more electronic and a little bit more... It's just enjoyable. It's just really, really enjoyable to listen to, this one. It's, it sort of slowly builds up the creepiness aspect, and then suddenly it's got this cool electric buzz. And I'll give you a little taster of that now. Number 3 on the list is from disc 2, from the episode Hell Bent, and it is of course A Duty of Care. This track is quite possibly, it's one of my favourites in the whole soundtrack. It's just amazing, and as much as Hell Bent is a very controversial episode, I think we can all agree that this track in particular is very much well known. You may know it better as the 4.5 billion years track from the unreleased section, but this is in fact just that. But it's got a different name, and it's called A Duty of Care. It's when the Doctor and Clara are sitting in the cloisters, and they're talking away, and it's a very, very nice bit of music. The unique side of it is it sounds very mysterious with the keys in a few places at the beginning, and then it goes into full orchestral, and it's very emotional. I think this is more emotionally driven than some of Clara's theme. In this series, and obviously especially one with the Facing the Raven as well, is a very big and a very big track to sort of swallow, because it's a very emotional scene. But this one I feel has a more emotional aspect to it, and it really has a bit of a kick. I do quite like that a lot. And I just want to throw a little bit of a notable mention before we play a little preview of this track, aside for that track of Facing the Raven. It's not on this list, but it is probably my 6th sort of favourite. I mean, it's great. I really, really do love it. It's such a interesting. It's got sort of a very heavy drum, metallic beats at the start, heading into the sort of Doctrine of War element, and then it's soft and careful. Got a bit of Clara's theme in there before she faces the Raven. It's a very, very nice track. Fourth one on this list is brilliant, in my opinion. I think this is just purely one of the best. I could go as far to say I prefer this to A Shepherd's Boy, which is obviously the big rated one. I really love this, and this is from disc 3, Heaven Sent, the full disc dedicated to that brilliant, brilliant episode from series 9. But this is a fly on a painting, and a fly on a painting is so good, not for like any individual reason of emotion or aspect of it. It's just so varied. It's so mysterious and kind of creepy at times. It starts off quite simple, and then it has, and I don't know if this is true, but it sounds like the music's been played on a piano with certain keys, and then it's been reversed. So it sounds like the keys are sort of rising up in volume and suddenly cutting off, and it's a slight addition, but it works so nicely. This is followed by a lovely part on the synthesizer, from the classic series, which is even better. It's a very nice nod to that as well, which, by the way, sounds great in this. And right after that, it hits you with a big orchestral sort of score, which throws the Doctor back, and it's very mysterious and jumping around and stuff, and then suddenly quiet back down again, and nice and peaceful, and it kind of just has a full circle for the full episode. There's so many different variations of music in this one 5-minute track, but I genuinely feel that it is probably one of the best tracks that Marigold has released. It's brilliant. It's so clever and unbelievably underrated even by fans. I believe this one has not been mentioned from what I've seen. It's brilliant, and I think it definitely deserves the respect. Here is the preview for that. And the final one that I've got today is obviously, what else was it going to be? It's another one from the Heaven Sent list. It is The Shepherd's Boy. I really like The Shepherd's Boy. Who doesn't like The Shepherd's Boy? It's the best one. Formerly known as Breaking the Wall from fans for the last 2 years, it's now been renamed to The Shepherd's Boy. I think this is great. I genuinely think this track is just brilliant, and it's no surprise to you. I don't have to explain it. You've all heard this track before. It's the one used when the Doctor's breaking the wall in Heaven Sent. It's used when he's blowing up the Cybermen in The Doctor Falls, and it is used during the 12th Doctor's regeneration speech in Twice Upon a Time as well. It's a song that's heavily used and heavily loved by lots and lots of fans, and it's just great to see it in full form without being ripped from an episode or orchestral live section. It's nice to hear it, and it's nice to really sort of feel that music coming properly, because it's a brilliant track, and it is loved by many Who fans. It's a brilliant track, and it definitely deserves the love. I don't think it's the best one on the soundtrack by a stretch. I think there's a lot more ones that are underrated, and I think this could be a little bit overrated, but it is brilliant, and it definitely deserves the recognition it gets, as it is one of Murray Gould's best scores he's ever done, or best. It's his best episode score, but this could be one of his best tracks he's ever released, in terms of Doctor Who, which is brilliant. And I'm definitely going to suggest that you all go and buy at least a copy, probably a copy, when it comes out tomorrow, or any time from then, because obviously the more copies that sell, the more likely we are to get the Series 10 soundtrack, which I would beg for. The Series 10 soundtrack is hopefully coming, and along with it, hopefully the Twice Upon a Time soundtrack. And then at least we've got all of Murray Gold's collection, and we, you know, after that, I suppose whoever's taken over, if they decide not to release soundtracks, then that's fine for them. At least we've got series 1 to 10. I think that's good enough to have in terms of Modern Who. But anyway, yes, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, comment below, and tell me your top 5 favourite tracks of this album. If you've heard it leaked online, or whether or not you've actually bought it by the time this video goes up, please do let me know and have a listen, and see if you can have a listen to these tracks and see if you like them as much as me as well. Either way, very, very interesting, very, very entertaining. I can't wait for this to come out so I can have a proper physical copy of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do check out the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all in the description below, and have a lovely day. See you all next time. Bye bye.